Welcome back to my channel. It is Saturday morning and I'm so excited for today's video. As you know, I work a full-time job in the weekdays, so I've been so excited for it to be the weekend so that I can film this video. And with my full-time job and YouTube, one thing that I don't have as much time for as I used to before YouTube is reading. So I thought, why not make a reading vlog where I essentially just get to read as much as possible today, and I will vlog the whole thing and take you along and just have a super lovely reading, cozy, bookish day together. I'm so excited. We have some great things in store, friends. So this morning I just took it slow and I had some lovely banana pancakes for breakfast. It was delicious. Now I'm just sitting here with my cup of tea and I'm gonna start out with the first reading sprint of the day. I'm also thinking we're gonna go out, maybe go book shopping a little bit, go to a library, go to a cafe, just have a super lovely reading, cozy, bookish day. And I'm so excited. And I have some amazing books on the schedule today. And of course, I'm gonna start out with finally finishing this bad boy. I have about 50 pages left of Onyx Storm, which is the third book in the Empyrean series. I have mixed feelings about this book, but I will talk to you more about it when I finish. And then something I'm so excited about. If you saw my last vlog, you saw that I picked up Quicksilver by Callie Hart when I was in England last weekend, and I'm so excited to start this. So I'm gonna get this out of the way and get started on Quicksilver, and I'll probably bring this with me, go to a cafe, do a good chunk of reading in this. And then the last book I'm reading today is I'm currently listening to the second book in the Boys of Tummin series on audiobook. So you know this. I also picked the physical copy up when I was in England, Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh, and yeah, I'm just so in love with this series. I don't know what to say. Obviously, they're quite heavy. Both of the books in the series have like 20+ hour audiobooks. This is 800 pages long, and I think the first book was as well. So I still have a bit of a way to go. It definitely has some more serious topics, so make sure to check the trigger warning. But I've talked about this series before on my channel. It is set in Ireland in a private school and revolves around Johnny Kavanagh, the captain of the school's rugby team, who is set to do really great things with his rugby career, and then Shannon Lynch, who comes from a very difficult background and is basically just in every way saved by this young man, and it is just so lovely. The first book is definitely young adult. It's set in like high school. They're both very young, and this second book in the series does contain spice, which always throws me off a little bit, like reading sex scenes about 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, but trying to set that aside in my head. The yearning in these books is just like nothing I've read. I remember I compared it to Twilight before on my channel because of Johnny Kavanagh. He's just super, super protective of her in the best way and does everything he can to save her, and he's amazing. The love that these two teenagers have for each other is just heart-wrenching. The yearning, the slow burn, it is so, so, so good. So if you have time for a few 800 pages slow burn romance books, definitely highly recommend these. I'd say I'm over halfway now in the second book, and I just don't want it to end, honestly. But those are the 3 books that we'll be reading today in this reading vlog. I've never done one of these before, but I've seen them on YouTube so many times, and yeah, hope you enjoy this video. Let me know what you think down below. So without further ado, let's get into the first reading sprint of the day. Guys, I finished it. It is now 11:15 and I finally finished Onyx Storm, and I'm gonna share some thoughts. I just sat here and stared out the window for 15 minutes just trying to collect my thoughts on this book. I have very mixed feelings. I did just put into my Goodreads that I rated it 3 stars. Speaking of Goodreads, I only have a personal account where I keep track of my TBR and I rate the books with stars, but I've never actually written any reviews. But a few of you have been asking for my Goodreads account. I'm thinking maybe I'll start a new one that's like public, where I actually write some reviews for you guys. If you're interested in following me, let me know in the comments if that's something you would like. Anyway, here are some thoughts on Onyx Storm that may change as I digest this book. So overall, I was kind of disappointed in this book. I have been reading it like in fragments, which is never the best way for me to read a book. It's taken me weeks to get through. I've only been reading like 10 pages at a time, except for this sprint right now. As a whole, I found this book wildly confusing. It's been a year since I read the 2 first books in the series. So to begin with, when I was really confused about what was going on, I thought, okay, maybe I'm a little bit out of the loop. Maybe I have bad memory, and I was blaming myself. But as it went on, I felt like this book has been one long storm of names and people and places that I am convinced I have never heard about before. And I probably have in the earlier books, but I don't remember any of it. I don't catch any of the references she's making throughout this book, which has made it absolutely frustrating. And I've just been like, okay, I'll keep going, maybe I'll understand eventually. And some of the things you kind of like put together throughout the book. But honestly, I think you have to be a hardcore fan of this universe and maybe have read the first 2 books a few times to fully understand what's going on in this book, which just unfortunately makes it less enjoyable and makes it harder for you to immerse yourself fully in the story. I'm not gonna say I rated this book 3 stars because I do love the universe. I actually really like Violet as a main character. I like being inside her head most of the time. It was frustrating in this book because I felt like she didn't really know what she was doing, or at least she wasn't sharing with me as the reader why she was doing the things she was doing. But most of the time I like her. I like the writing, I like the dialogue. It's super funny. It has a lot of banter in here, a lot of funny characters. I am laughing out loud with some of the dialogue between the people and their dragons. I always find that super fun. The romance plot in this was also a little bit disappointing for me. The reason I've been looking forward to this book as much as I have is because of Satan. I just love Satan. He's my #1 book boyfriend. Love him so much, but in this book it just completely faded for me. I don't feel like the chemistry between Satan and Violet in any way lives up to the first 2 books, which was disappointing because the romance is obviously a big part of this series. What I do love, however, is just his blatant disregard for anything that's not her. Like she is just his top priority with everything, and he makes that clear and is verbal about it over and over and over again, which I just think that's my dream. I don't know about you guys. So I do love that about their their dynamic. I'm sorry if this contains spoilers, maybe skip ahead a bit. I'm trying not to say too much, but for me it was just, the romance was just really influenced by the cliffhanger from the second book. And it's very much like, no I can't, but I'm still gonna do it. No I can't be with you, no I can't lose control with you, but then I just do it anyway and it's fine. The whole cliffhanger of the second book just completely falls to the ground in this one because everything was just fine. And then essentially the ending of this book is just the same cliffhanger as the second book. It's just the same again, and I've just gone through like almost 600 pages to get the same cliffhanger as the second book ended on. So all in all, this was definitely my least favorite book of the Empyrean series so far, but am I gonna read the next one? Of course! I love this universe. This is like the first romantasy series I ever got into. It has a very special place in my heart, and maybe I'll reread this whole series again and it will make sense to me, and then I'll actually be able to enjoy it. Definitely need to be very focused reading this. I wish I had like a vocabulary. Like, I don't like to have to look up things on my phone while I'm reading, but I kind of wish I had like Google like, who is this character, who is this character, who is this character, so that I could have enjoyed the book more than I did, unfortunately. But with that said, it was enjoyable, definitely worth a read. I know that's very contradicting. I have very high expectations for this series, which is what I'm rating it based on. Is it still entertaining and relatively enjoyable? Yes. Anyway, finally finished this one, and it's okay that it was a little bit disappointing because now I'm not gonna be as irritated that I have to wait for the next book. I will say there were some moments throughout the end of this book that actually had me teared up a little bit, and some of the scenes really hit me the way they were supposed to. And yeah. Now, it is almost 11:30 and the sun is shining and I'm so happy. So I'm gonna get ready and then let's get out on town. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna put on a cute outfit, pop on my audiobook. As I mentioned, I'm listening to Keeping 13 and just get into the sunshine and go explore the city a little bit today. So as I mentioned in a previous video, there is this antique bookshop close to where I live that I go past all the time, but I've never actually been inside, so I was thinking we'd do that today. So let's start out by getting ready and go to the bookshop. Struggling to pick an outfit for this video, but here is option number one. I got this pink turtleneck thrifted from England. Just have like a white long sleeve tee underneath with a little mini skirt and my loafers. This might be a little cold, but I felt like a pop of color to celebrate the sunshine and the spring coming soon. What do you think about this? Is it fun? I don't know. Maybe not the pink and black. Let me try something else. So here is the same outfit, just with a navy v-neck sweater. It's a bit more anonymous, maybe a bit more classy. Going a little preppy today, a little schoolgirl vibe. You guys know I love this shirt, also thrifted from England. My mom made me this skirt and basically all of the tops I use are thrifted, but I need a sweater over this. Maybe the v-neck. Yeah, now it really looks like a school uniform. I just need a little tie. I'm kind of digging it. Like, tell me this isn't a vibe. And with this little striped scarf, I feel like I should be going to Hogwarts. Maybe not so springy, but I kind of love it. What do we think? But I could also wear a big sweater like this one my mom made, so that I can wear a spring coat without freezing to death. I think I'm still gonna freeze to death, honestly. Oh, this is cute though. I do still think I need my winter coat. Ah, I'm so excited for spring. It's so much more fun to get dressed. You know what? I'm gonna chance it. This sweater is really warm and the sun is shining. I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna put on my sunglasses and of course bring my trusty tote bag. What a cute spring outfit. Let's get outside. I also have these smaller glasses. Which do you prefer? These are definitely a bit cooler. These are my mom's 2000s glasses that I have put new glasses in to match my prescription. So they're like quality sunglasses. And these ones, I think are from Amazon and cost £1. Which ones do you prefer? Of course, I'm gonna put on my headphones and listen to Keeping 13 while I'm on the way to the bookshop. I really hate covers like this. Like, do you have to put just teenagers kissing on the cover? Just give us something better, please. Anyway, I'm excited. Let's go! Hi guys, so I'm challenging myself today to film a little bit in public, so I hope you can hear me. But I just left the antique bookshop. It was a little bit too pricey. It was super lovely and he had a great selection, but when I'm used to thrift shop prices in England, this is a bit too expensive for me. But I had the idea that I would come to this book cafe that I know that is just a really cozy place to get a cup of coffee and sit and read for a bit. So hopefully they'll have room. It looks a little busy, but I'll bring you. I just entered the cafe and I never realized that they also have a bookshop in the basement. So amazing. They have an antiques area and then in here with new books. So cool. So I just left the book cafe and I read the first 2 chapters of Quicksilver and I'm actually really into it. So very positive about that, surprisingly positive. I love the writing, it's super gripping and yeah, so excited about that. And now I'm just gonna get on the bike and I thought I would go to the library. I have not yet started editing my video for tomorrow. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go to the library and get some editing done. But yeah, the cafe was lovely. I had a croque madame. It was delicious and did some reading and it's just such a beautiful cafe. So yeah, I'm so proud of myself for filming in public. I hope you can hear what I'm saying. Let's go to the library. So I came by the bookshop and of course I had to step inside. It can't be a bookish vlog without just one purchase, and I was struggling so much to choose between the Crimson Moth and When the Moon Hatched and the Book of Azrael. All three books I've heard raving reviews about, so I'm so excited to read them all, but it's Danish book prices, so I only allowed myself to pick up one. But I ended up getting The Crimson Moth by Kristen Sigarelli, and I'm so excited to read this. And honestly, the reason I picked this one is because it's just so much shorter than the other options, and I've been reading so many long books. I just really want like a quicker read, and I'm saying this, but this is still 400 pages. Looks less intimidating than some of the others. But yeah, I'll wait and pick up the other books next time I'm in England. And once I've read a few more books on my TBR, I have so many books to get through, but very excited about this read. But let's head to the library and get some editing done. It is now 3-something p.m, so it's getting a bit late and the sun is hiding behind the clouds in the buildings now, but it's okay. I'm just having the best day here. Let's go. So I just made it to the main library and it is just so beautiful here. I always forget. I just went to the restrooms and even the restrooms are so gorgeous, but I'll see if I can get some shots inside. It's actually not allowed to film, but I'll see if I can film if I'm not gonna disturb anyone. But oh my god, if you're a student, come here to study. Hi guys, so I just got back home and I went to the main library in Copenhagen. It's called the Black Diamond. I got myself a chai latte and I went to the old beautiful reading hall, and there are loads of people in there working hard on their studying, and the vibes when you enter that room are just immaculate. Like, it makes you want to write a book. And I've been there before on my channel. I was actually there in my first ever YouTube video. If you have not watched that, do I want to link it? I'll link it up here, you can go check it out. But yeah, I went there and I got a few hours of editing done until the library closed at 6. I've been editing my England vlog, which will be out already when you watch this, so I'll link that up here somewhere as well. I've just been having the most amazing day. Honestly, I've had so much fun just having this reading day, and it's not over yet. And I started reading Quicksilver, as you know, and I got a few chapters in. I read about 30 pages of this when I was in the cafe, and I actually am really enjoying this. This book is supposed to be an enemies to lovers with some sizzling romance and some good banter from what I've heard, but from what I can gather from the first few chapters, we follow a 24-year-old young woman called Daris? What's her name? Let me just check. It has a little overview of how to pronounce different character names. Saris. We follow Saris, who is a 24-year-old skilled thief, just a very classic fantasy trope. She is a thief. She lives in like the poor slum area of the city. So she climbs over the walls into the rich areas to steal her way to some money and some food for her and her younger brother. So again, very classic for the fantasy genre, that our female lead is a skilled thief doing everything she can to take care of her family. We've heard that before, but I actually think this was just, yeah, super interestingly like written. I was captured from the start. I'm just excited for the romance plot to begin at some point and to see what's gonna happen with her. I'm sure something interesting is gonna happen, because she, on top of being a skilled thief, also has some mysterious powers that she is hiding from everyone, that I'm sure will get her into some interesting situations when I get further in the book. This is a big one, so this is like 600 pages, so I have lots of fun reading ahead of me, and I'm definitely just gonna continue reading this tonight and get as far as I can, and I'll update you. But I also went to the antique bookshop. I didn't find anything there, like I mentioned. It was just too expensive. But after I went to the book cafe, I actually stopped by Anat Busk, which is a bookshop here in Copenhagen, which is my favorite, and they always have like such an amazing selection of fantasy books, English books, and all the popular books. So I went in there and I was really debating. I wanted to buy just one book. I'm trying not to buy too many books in Denmark because I go to England all the time and they're so much cheaper there. So I allowed myself to buy one book for the vlog, you know, but I ended up going with The Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli. The pitch for this book just sounds amazing, and I haven't read anything like this yet, so I'm very excited about this. This is a witch hunter witch romance. Amazing. I just love a real good enemies to lovers, as you can tell. Let me read what it says on the back. The only thing more treacherous than being a witch is falling in love. The revolution reigns. The witches who once ruled are hidden, hunted. Rune is one of them. A socialite by day, she is the Crimson Moth by night, a vigilant bent on saving her own. Her next rescue demands she court Gideon Sharp, a notorious witch hunter and unforgiving revolutionary. Gideon will pursue the Crimson Moth to the ends of the earth, and her trail leads him to Rune, but beneath her facade might be his match. Except, what if she is the very villain he's been hunting? The dangerously romantic start to Kristen Ciccarelli's New York Times best-selling fantasy duology. What's not to love about this? I'm so excited to start this. As you know, I've also been listening to Keeping 13 all day, which another long one. This audiobook is like 26 hours or something. And as much as I love a slow burn, like I need to get through some books now, because I need to read 50 books this year and I'm way behind. So The Crimson Moth is a little bit shorter and sounds amazing, and I've heard great things, so excited. But now it is like 6:30 and I'm super hungry, so I'm thinking we're gonna change into some PJs, set the vibes in the apartment, and make some dinner. I'm thinking I'm gonna make a super quick little pizza, and then I'm gonna continue reading Quicksilver for the rest of the evening. I'm so excited.
Back into the house. My hands were held myself through her bedroom window. A familiar voice spat from behind the lobby. I know he's down for myself to say, but I have to get you. Okay. How are we going to get out? We're in trouble, aren't we? My eyes, I said, visibly shaking now. And the other fella slumped in a chair at the door. I turned my back to leave, but quick.
impressed lately with making this super easy potato pizza. I'm just using a tortilla wrap because it's easy and delicious. Put some mascarpone cheese on it with some thinly sliced potatoes and some red onion and some rosemary, a little bit of oil, a little bit of parmesan on top. And then another thing I've been loving is to just get a bowl of lettuce and add a little bit of cottage cheese and some salt and pepper and just mixing that around. And it's just a super easy and delicious way to get some leafy greens in. So I'm gonna just enjoy my lovely dinner and continue reading. It's a little bit later now. It's 8-something p.m. so there is no time to waste. I'm gonna read while I eat. It is time. Oh, my apartment is so cozy right now. I have all my candles lit. Dinner was amazing. I didn't really manage to read that much while eating though. That was too ambitious of me. I'm not that good at multitasking. But now I'm all ready for the big reading sprint of today. It is now 20 to 9 and I don't have anywhere to be. I'm gonna spend a while here. I want to make a dent in this book, okay? Like, I am not messing around. Now we are getting that page count up. I mean business. So I just made myself a warm cup of English tea. I brought 2 huge packs of English tea home with me from when I was in England last weekend. A big box of regular and a big box of decaf. So now I'm all stocked up for the next month or two. Another obsession of mine are these protein chocolate puddings that you can get at the supermarket. They're delicious. I just love anything chocolate mousse, chocolate pudding, stuff like that. It's my guilty pleasure. I've been trying to be a little bit more healthy recently, so this one is just perfect. It's super high in protein and only has like 70 calories or something like that. And I thought it would look nice to transfer it into a glass instead of eating it out of the plastic container, but this does not look cute. I'm gonna have to come up with another way of doing this, but I have everything I need. My tea, my dessert. I'm gonna get a blanket and get my book and spend the next few hours here, and I will update you with any thoughts on the book. My couch is way too comfortable. I am scared I'm not going to be able to stay awake for very long, but then again, as you know, I've been trying to cut back on caffeine. However, I had not 1 but 2 cups of coffee today, so maybe I'll be fine. Oh, also, I am, as you know, if you watch my last video, you know that this is my first hardback book I've read in many years, and guys, I think I love it. It's not good because obviously reading hardcover books is so expensive, but oh my god, this feels supreme, okay? I love it. Yeah, not good. Anyway, let's get down to it. I am currently on page 32. Let's see how far I can get. The FMC is starting to irritate me a little bit. Like, she is not taking responsibility. She is not being very responsible. When you're reading what you know will become a romance, and every time she meets a man now, I'm like, is this him? And you're super like aware of how all men are described. Something I really need is for the first time she sees him, it needs to be hard hitting. It needs punch. She can't just like slowly realize, oh yeah, I guess looking at him now, I realize he's beautiful. Like, no, it has to be in your face. If she missed it for 40 pages, then it's not good enough. Then he's not hot enough. It's fine if she hates him, but she has to like immediately, who is this man? Who is this mystery of a dark, tall, handsome man. That's just a side note. Okay, friends, I made it to page 68 and I'm really enjoying this so far. So happy I picked this up, but I am just so cozy and so relaxed. I'm struggling to keep my eyes open, okay? My eyes are getting so tired. It is quite late. It is 20 minutes to 11 now, and if you think I'm a slow reader, it's because I am. English is my second language, so especially when I'm just getting into a new style of writing and a new fantasy universe, I'm taking my time, okay? Because I don't want to miss anything. So I am quite a slow reader, but I'm thinking I need a change of scenery. So I'm gonna brush my teeth, do my skincare, and go to bed, and probably read a little bit more before going to sleep. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Something really interesting just happened, and I don't want to give you any spoilers, but maybe she met him now. Or maybe not. This would be very interesting though. I don't know enough about this book. This always happens. I just did my skincare and brushed my teeth, and now I'm feeling super refreshed. So I can do another little reading sprint. But I've just had such a fun day just being in book land. My favorite place to be, just surrounded by books and stories all day. And if you're into reading, I definitely recommend taking a full day to yourself to just immerse yourself in reading and looking at books in bookshops, going to the library, just all the good stuff. Just get yourself a nice cup of coffee and fully immerse yourself into the wonderful world that is books. Yeah, I've just had such a lovely day, and it just makes it so much better that I get to share it with you. I would have never had a day like this if it wasn't because I was documenting it for you guys. So thank you so much for giving me an excuse to make my days alone a bit more special. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Someone is having a party next door. That's a first, actually.